If you are vulnerable because you're constantly being influenced by everything around you, if you're in such a state, it is possible that certain people can influence you. They can make you sick just by looking at you. It's very much possible. There are people who can cause death just by looking at somebody.
People who are in certain types of sadhana, even in India, many sadhus and sannyasis, they don't want that picture to be taken. Just for example, I'm saying, take a picture of me, a proper photo would be better, not a reprinted photo. It would be good, but even a book cover, just hold your Rudraksh, see how it goes. If somebody knows how to read this geometry, he can create geometry either to enhance you or to create trouble for you. So wherever such arts were popular, people said, I don't want my picture anywhere because I don't want to become vulnerable to somebody else. My enemy wants to come and take a picture, I don't want that my picture in his house because we don't know how he will use it.
I want to know the truth of black magic. My non-Bengali friends believe black magic has come into existence from West Bengal. How much truth is there in this?
It's a very Bengali question, The truth they're not asking how much truth in the black magic, they're asking whether it came from West Bengal or not. Well, Kerala people believe it came from Kerala. It's little fishy, both the populations. Lot of fish in them, you know. So, at one time in this country, as you have a family doctor, they used to have a witch doctor. Almost every family had somebody to consult on these kind of aspects, because these arts were so widespread. Did it originate in Bengal? Did it originate in Kerala? No, I think it survived more in Kerala and Bengal today. In other places, it's gotten a little wiped out. Essentially, what you're talking about is occult. Occult is a certain technology that you can use your energies to create certain impact. But unfortunately, it's gotten very negative press because market was for the negative, so people used it more negatively than positively. It could also be used positively. It's like any other technology, you can either use it positively or negatively. Unfortunately, the negative usage became overwhelmingly larger than the positive usage, so people think occult means it's a negative. No, the usage has become unfortunately negative. It could also be used in a positive manner. When I say it could also be used in a positive manner, you can transform life with it. You could help people out of their health situations, out of their psychological situations, various things could be done. Instead of that, because the market is mainly for the negative, because of that it's gotten a negative image. Occult is like this. See, right now, all of you have a phone. Suppose you had a phone 100 years ago, cell phone 100 years ago, you could claim you have occult powers because you could just take this and speak to somebody in America, everybody woo, they will shiver, okay? Yes or no? So, occult is just technology. You could communicate, you could use your energies to communicate with somebody. But as modern technology becomes more and more subtle, the need for occult is receding quite a bit, because so many things that we used to do in occult today can be delivered. You can send a WhatsApp message, you don't have to sit there focusing to send a message to somebody anymore. It took a lot more energy and time to do that. Now, message goes. So, messaging business has completely fallen out of occult. Otherwise, occult was mainly used to deliver messages to people in a different way. You have heard of telepathy and not telecommunication, telekinetics and various other things where things were done from a distance. But today all those things are being done by regular technology, so occult or the requirement for occult is withdrawing. The need is just going away and probably most of it will go away. There are a few things that one could do, but above all, if we created a society that whatever is given to you, you will use it in a positive way, occult can be a tremendous possibility, as technology can be tremendous possibility. As I mentioned earlier, most of the technology is used for developing arms and armaments and bombs and nuclear bombs and more destructive things. The same thing could have been used for something else. Absolutely, positive things could have been done, but that's not been done because the market is for the negative. Similarly, the same things have happened to occult. Your Mukherjee friend, well, I think from what I hear, I think Kerala tops in the occult practices even today. Next comes West Bengal. Next, probably some northeastern states have this, but they're very rudimentary occult. Kerala occult is quite sophisticated. You will see a lot of occult in North America, in the North American tribes, but very basic, mainly messaging occult. But now they all have smartphones, so it's all going out. I think Kashmir at one time had a lot of occult. Bengal, Kerala, Northeast, well, some parts of Andhra Pradesh and Orissa, but now market is done.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. They say evil eye brings bad luck and can cause harm. What is evil eye and are there methods to ward off evil eye?
So does such things exist? Yes. People can influence things. Right now, if I just take this water and look at it for a minute, we can prove today the molecular structure of the water will change. So now if I look at this, why should the molecular structure of the water inside change? It will. It can change in a positive way, it can change in a negative way. Both are possible. A focused mind is a dangerous mind. Dangerous or not is determined by the intent. If you're able to empower the thought, then the thought becomes very powerful. An angry mind, a lustful mind, a very loving mind, all these are powerful minds. The reason is not because of anger or love, simply because they become one-pointed. If something becomes one-pointed, suddenly the power of that is big. Now if you do this, it won't hurt somebody, you know, you make it like this, it hurts somebody, isn't it? Because it's become one-pointed. The same force, but it's one-pointed, suddenly it's creating a bigger impact. So, one-pointedness may happen out of sheer awareness, or with sadhana, or because of anger. When you're really angry with this person, your mind is one-pointed, just see. In love it may wander, but in anger and hatred, mind becomes one-pointed. Because of that one-pointedness, it can influence. So people who are in extreme states of anger, hatred, greed, when they really focus on something, things can happen in the other person. I said it can happen, not that it will happen. It also depends on how vulnerable you are. If you are organized in such a way, external influences do not determine what happens within you. Doesn't matter who looks at you, you can be free from that. If you are vulnerable because you're constantly being influenced by everything around you, if you're in such a state, it is possible that certain people can influence you. They can make you sick just by looking at you. It's very much possible. There are people who can cause death just by looking at somebody. If you can cause ecstasy in somebody just by looking at them, you can cause agony if you want, you know. Just a different switch, that's all. It's like your tap, if you turn this way, it's hot water, cold water. Mind is just like that. It can be used in many positive, phenomenal ways. It's a tremendous possibility. But people choose to use it in different ways. Whatever we make, which can enhance life, which can save life, which can beautify life, the same things can be used to destroy life, to horrify life, isn't it? Every day it's happening, technology. You could use it whichever way. This is also just that. This body and this mind can be used in the same way. This is why Indian women used to wear a big and it was supposed to be made of certain material. Turmeric and lime was used so that it doesn't affect. Particularly if a woman was considered very beautiful, then they would make it much bigger. Because naturally people's eyes will fall on somebody who has a certain physical presence. So, it should not affect her health and well-being and whatever, so they made it much bigger. So if you consider yourself beautiful, you must have this. If you're a tiny one, I understand. So don't get into all these things because then you will start thinking, right now I'm getting a stomachache because she looked at me. I got a headache because he looked at me. Don't get into all that. For this we have simple methods, we give you a fire wash. Fire wash. It's called Klesha Nashana.
That means an act which will take away the impurities that gather around you. Because your body is not just here, your body doesn't stop here, it extends itself. Have you noticed? Probably women are more sensitive to this than men. You don't have to be touched by somebody. If somebody comes a bit too close, not a psychological thing, that's a different matter. Psychological and emotional aspects are there. Leaving that, if somebody comes too close, right there itself there is a feeling that, you want some distance. They haven't touched you, just like this. This itself causes some disturbance, isn't it? Because the body doesn't end here. The energy is little beyond that. How much beyond that depends on how exuberant your life energies are. If your life energies are truly exuberant, you can fill this hall with it. Otherwise, it is at least a little bit. For most human beings, it could be anywhere between 3 to 9 inches outside of their body. So you gather material on your body, you wash it. Similarly, you're gathering other kinds of material upon your energetic system. You can wash this water with water, certain impurities will go with that. Similarly, there's a fire wash, which you're calling drishti. Is it necessarily happening because of other people's look or not, that's a questionable matter. But impact of life around you upon your energy system is definitely happening. If you have a spiritual process within you, that is, you're doing some kriya or you're doing some meditative processes, then you don't need all this, because you know how to wash yourself from within. People are sending pictures of their parents or grandparents or their children just born for blessings and, for various things. So if we can do positive things with the image of a person, you must know we can also do negative things. In India, if you go to a black magic artist, he will just ask for a picture. Because picture is a certain geometry. If you understand the geometry of a person's picture, you can create a geometry which will freak him. Now you can create a geometry which will enhance him, or you can create a geometry which is going to destroy him in some way. So, because of this, those cultures, wherever this is there, people don't want pictures to be taken. People who are in certain types of sadhana, even in India, many sadhus and sannyasis, they don't want that picture to be taken, but these days they cannot avoid, but unknowingly they take selfies. So, people are asking me, Sadhguru, are you okay for a selfie? I said, no selfie. Because these silly trends will come and go, life goes on beyond that. These trends are… The thing is, nobody is willing to take a picture of you. So you want to shoot yourself and put it all over the place, which I think is… it doesn't agree with my aesthetics that I take my own picture and put it all over the place. People took pictures and they want to put it because they value it for something, all right. Because an image has a geometry of its own. We could have actually demonstrated if we had an image here, or you try at home yourself. Just for example, I'm saying, take a picture of me, a proper photo would be better, not a reprinted photo. It would be good, but even a book cover, just hold your Rudraksh, see how it goes. Download an image of some serial killer, I'm sure you are in touch with them on the internet and check the Rudraksh, you see how it happens. It'll happen very differently. And if you bring certain image, folded, okay? Not my regular picture, there are certain pictures where I'm in a certain state when pictures have been taken. Folded picture, you don't know what is there. You create a few, what do you call them? Placebo pictures, all right? An empty page, something else, a grasshopper flying, a tree, this, that, everything. If you have been meditating for a certain point of time, mix them all up so that you can't see on the surface what it is. Touch each one of them, probably many who have been initiated by me will immediately recognize which is the picture. If they're not too confused and what… this, that, simply if they touch it, they will know. because just a two-dimensional or a flat surface of the picture has a geometry and a unique geometry, and it's exuding that. If somebody knows how to read this geometry, he can create geometry either to enhance you or to create trouble for you. So wherever such arts were popular, people said, I don't want my picture anywhere because I don't want to become vulnerable to somebody else. My enemy wants to come and take a picture, I don't want my picture in his house because we don't know how he will use it. So out of this concern, people would not allow pictures to be taken.